In this video we will bring AI. We will make something that is relatively easy. We will connect Airtable to ChatGPT and then send a mail to us. So basically something like this will happen. As soon as a new order comes into Airtable, I just want to have a quick summary what happened with this order. This is really practical. And this also does not really matter if the Airtable was also automatically created previously. So you can also connect more workflows in this way. So we just start really simple. Create new workflow, we press plus, and here we use right now Airtable as the trigger node. So we press Airtable and we need to have on Airtable event, of course. So every time that something happens in Airtable, I want to have this trigger node executed automatically. I have already made a small spreadsheet in Airtable. This is just an example. If people buy stuff from us, in this example we are the company that sells, for example, electronic stuff. And if people buy stuff from us, if this table gets updated, I want to have an email. So we come back. Of course, we need to connect our Airtable account. Then the mode, I want to check this every single minute so that we have an update all the time. And here on base and table, we need to give these links. So we basically just go into Airtable and I just want to give this link. And it's always just table 2. So we give this right here and also the same thing down here. This does not really matter, this works for us. And then we want to have a trigger field. So let's just say every single time that a new order number comes through, I just want to have an update. So I copy order number, we go back into N8N, we throw this in here and then we can simply click fetch test event. But first you can also see this. When will this node trigger my workflow? You can press on these and you see this right here. Once you're happy with your workflow, activate it. Then N8N will regularly check Airtable for new events and execute this workflow if it finds any. This execution will show in the execution list but not in the order. So as soon as you make this public later, this thing will simply work all the time for you. But for right now, we simply press fetch test event. And right now you see that we have fetched a test event. Status was shipped, price 300, date. This right here, it's a monitor, the order number is 4, and NLOPES has used this and quantity is 1. This thing for fetching test events will always fetch just one event. In our scenario, it's order number 4. And here you see order number 4. It's Anna with a monitor, 1 piece, $300 shipped. Anna, 1 piece, monitor, $300 shipped. So this seems to work. And every single time that I get an update in my Airtable account, I will simply trigger this node automatically. So boom, this works for me. You can also see it here. While building your workflow, click Fetch button to fetch a single mock event. It will show up in this editor. So the fetching with these tests will fetch only one event, but as soon as this is active, it will fetch all the events and it will check it every single minute all day long for us. And now we want to integrate AI, of course. So we press plus and I want to include OpenAI. So we press on OpenAI and I want to use message a model. This is just a normal LLM. If we press on these, you see that we need to connect our OpenAI credentials. You already know how to make them, but for the sake of these tutorials, we will make new events. So we simply press create new credentials if you do not have any credentials. We search for the OpenAI playground, we press on it, we log in. I hope that you have made your billing account, just like I told you in the first section. Then we go on to the dashboard, API keys. Here you can choose your project. I just like to use this test project, create new secret key, and I then course test, create secret key, copy this key, we come back into N8N, we throw in the API key, and we press save, and now this thing is green, and green is always good. So this right now is connected. Resources, we use text. Operation is of course message a model. Then the model list, we can use, also the smaller models would be fine. I would like to use GPT-4o. Now we need to make our system prompt, so we simply need to create this text and I want to do it this way. First I click on expression and I want to make this a little bit bigger so that we can work a bit better. And I include this prompt that I have already created. One moment. You are responsible for customer orders. Your task is to collect incoming information about new orders and create a clear summary that will be sent via email to the team. The email should be signed with Customer Success Team. Here are the details of the customer orders. Order number, customer, product, quantity, price, date, and status. Please provide the following output parameters: email subject and content. And here you see this right now, order number, and you find the order number also here, order number, and we can simply throw it here. Then the customer is of course this right here. These are always variables. Then the product is this right here. The quantity is this right here. The price, that thing here. The date and status is this right here. And now this should work. This is a perfect system prompt. With the system prompt, we have these variables and they will always vary, and the AI will simply make a summary out from all of this and send a nice email so that everybody in the company is up to date from the customer success team. So we can close this down. And what I want to do right now is to press test step, and then we should get our data. And there we have it. And here you can see it as table, as JSON, and also as schema. We can go on to the table, and here we see it. Like here it's not perfect, but later as soon as we send this as mail, this is a little bit nicer. Summary of new custom orders, order number 4. Dear team, please find below the details of and so on, order number, customer name, and so on. So you see this should work completely fine. But what we want to do is of course to send this via mail. This would be of course perfect if the customer success team can simply type in their stuff here in this Airtable sheet, and as soon as something gets updated, the customer success team sends the mail automatically to the other people in the company. So we press plus, we want to have Gmail, we press on Gmail, we use send a message of course. Now we need to connect, of course, once again, Gmail. If you do not have this, please make it. Once again, I want to show you how. Create new credentials, just open the documentation, go on the Google Cloud Console. This is basically the same thing that we did previously. We go onto the console, we make a new project by pressing here, new project, NA10, course, mail, test, for example. We create it, we press on it, we go onto the left side, APIs and services, libraries, Gmail API. We press on it. We need to enable the Gmail API. As soon as this is enabled, we go onto the OAuth consent screen. We scroll down, first steps. We give it a name, NA10 mail. We give our email. We go on. It is extern. We go on. Once again our mail and we go on. And we accept it and we go on. Create OAuth client. It is a web application, web client 1. We need to have the redirect URL, so we press on it, we come back into NA10, we copy this thing and throw it down here and create. Now we have all of this. What we do right now is to press here, and we want to include some test users. We simply use our mail right now and we save it. Now everything should be okay. We press on clients, OAuth client. Here we have the client ID. We can copy these, come back into NA10, throw in the client ID. We come back here, copy the API key, and we throw in the client secret key here. And we press sign in with Google. We use, of course, our Google account. We go on, accept all. We go on, and it's successfully created. Everything that is green is always fine. Remember, if you work in the cloud, you do not have to do this. One click is enough. But if you want to do this locally, you have to make these clicks. So we can throw this away. This is fine right now. So we are connected with this Google account. Resources is, of course, messages. So we can send this message immediately. You can also create a draft if you want, but we want to have a message. The operation is, of course, send, because we want to send this email. Then let's just assume that we want to send this email to a Google account that I already have. Let's just use this one. I just type in this thing right here. Here would come, of course, the email where we want to send this. Now we need subject and we also need a message. And here we have a small problem, because in the content we only have the email subject and the content in one thing. So we need to fix this. This is part of the process. This can happen. We go back on this prompt. We make this big. Please provide the following output parameters. I have fixed this with an underscore. Let's just go back. We scroll down. Output content as JSON. Let's just enable this right here. And now we press test step, schema. And now we have it. Email subject and the email body. So please also enable that you want to have this as JSON. Then we should have email subject and the body. Now we press, of course, on our Gmail node once again. Now we have the subject and, of course, we throw the subject in the subject. Then we go down and the message should come into the message. And the email type, it could be HTML or it could also be text. Let's just leave it at HTML and then we can simply press test step. And it seems that it worked. So let's just see if I got this mail or not. I am here in an email address that I normally don't use, and I see that I have this mail. Summary of new custom order 004. If I press on these, I can see it. Dear team, please find below, and so on. Yeah, it seems to be completely correct. We can maybe make this a little bit nicer, so the body should be a little bit cleaner. And also this, I do not want to have this. This email was sent automatically with N8N. So let's just fix it. We come back to N8N. Let's just use text here instead of HTML. Make a clean body with new lines if needed. This should be fine. Then we go on our Gmail node. We scroll down, add option, append N8N attribution, and we do not want to have this. So right now it should work for us. So we press on these once again. Fetch test event. It's once again 04. So this is okay. Then we press on these. Test step. Seems to work. We press on these. Test step. Seems to work. We come back in my Gmail. I press on it. And now it's a lot nicer. Hello team. Please find below the details for the new custom order or the number, customer, product, quantity, price, date, status is shipped, then thank you, best regards, customer success team. So everything is clean, everything is perfect. And now we want to automate this thing. So if we come back, we can close this down. And what we want to do is right now to send this to active. So no longer inactive, we want to have this active. And this thing will get triggered every time that I add new rows here. So right now, this will search every single minute if a new row gets added. And we will not see it here, we will see it here in these executions as soon as this gets triggered. So basically what I want to do right now is to go into Airtable. Now we add a new row, we just say 006. Let's just call this Maria test, printer, 2 printers, $300. This is the date and it's completed. So this row gets now added, and if we come back into N8N, we need to wait for 1 minute, and then our execution will get triggered automatically, and then I should get a mail, at least in theory. And if we come right now into executions, you see that this thing gets fetched at minute 24 and minute 25. So everything was executed completely perfect. For the sake of these tutorials, once again, test workflow, we see the things get fetched, OpenAI makes our mail, Gmail sends gets triggered, and then I got my mail. Because I have pressed right now test workflow, I will most likely fetched once again event number 4. And yes, there we have it, event number 4 on this time, so you see this is completely up to date. If you ever have any problems with these active workflows, because this can absolutely happen, please make sure to save this previously. So throw it to active, press save, go into the overview, come back once again to your workflow. Also make sure to give it a name, so this would be better, Airtable to mail. And make sure that it's active and then it should work. And if it still does not want to work, it is most likely because you are on your local machine. If you host this in the cloud, this will work all the time. And remember, just go on to executions and check when your last execution comes through. Congratulations, you have your first automation where you have AI included. This is also relatively practical in a big company. Let's just assume that new orders come around the corner all the time. Every time that Airtable gets an update, our customer success team sends an update to other parts of the company. So congratulations, see you in the next video. And of course you can make this bigger, smaller, but let's just take it slow, we will do this step by step.